The Combat Achievement Diary, a testament to a player's problem-solving, spatial reasoning, and overall skill in old school RuneScape. My goal is to complete the diary in the lowest in-game time. This is the Zuk Helm any% speedrun, starring GM to GMs. Welcome back to the Zuk Helm speedrun Season 2, starring our Infernal Cape owning hero. Previously, we got the bulk of obnoxious quests out of the way, and today I want to obtain the last thing I need to train Slayer effectively, and that's the Crystal Halberd. On top of being hard required for a few combat tasks in the diary, this weapon is my best way to train strength. However, this is locked behind some requirements I don't have yet, including 69 Hunter, 68 Farming, 300 Chompy Kills, 75 Thieving, and 100 Combat. But first things first, I've yet to do my imbues, and in the year 2023, the best way to do this without accruing in-game time is to fight in the PvP arena. The PvP arena worlds use a separate game profile that doesn't impact your main game profile, much like Leagues, Deadman, and beta testing worlds. So this is perfect for a guy in my shoes. One issue though, since this is a piece of PvP content, almost everyone's boosting it, and it's the best way to obtain its rewards. I won't virtue signal, as I did a fair bit of boosting myself, but there were a few times where there were legitimate players. Not too long after, we had enough points to afford all 4 of the imbue scrolls we need. These will be going on the Berserker Ring, Ring of the Gods, Slayer Helmet, and Salve Amulet. With that done, we proceed to do yet another quest, but this required 65 defense, so I couldn't do it earlier. That's King's Ransom done. And that's the Night Waves done. Piety is now unlocked. With Piety unlocked, we've given our melee strength a lot of love, but we're about to give it even more. It's time to get our Dragon Defender with the help of some lovely assistants. A big thanks to everyone who helped transfer special attack during the live streams. That's the Bronze Defender, Iron, Steel, 6 times over the rate for the Black Defender, Mithril, Addy, Rune, and 2 times over the rate for the Dragon Defender. We gave ourselves an Avernic hilt during episode 1, so let's slap it on now. With Warriors Guild out of the way, it's time for more white lies, but I can explain. Remember this discussion from last episode? Blame Jagex, I did not want to do these quests. I found the Scout Tuber, but I don't want it, so I let this hardcore Ironman get it instead. Don't say I'm not a nice guy. That's My Arm's Big Adventure, Romeo and Juliet, Cold War, Ghostly Robes mini-quest, 10k Agility Lamp, Grim Tales, lots of levels. For this part of Fairy Tale Part 2, you have to stand here and do nothing and wait for the plants to grow. Then, this happened. And it's not one I was expecting to get, but...
Let's go.
Makes me
Why? Oh no.
You
What did
can't
you
laugh and
pull?
not know.
something happened.
Now.
Some stupid RNG happened.
Yeah, some stupid RNG happened. That's the best way I can actually surmise it. Is that
That's
some dumb
just
RNG happened.
just for Chungus, I rarely hear you react to anything, and that's your reaction. That was the same laugh you had when you pulled the first shadow.
That's Fairy Tale Part 2, Mountain Daughter, me taking a dragon sword out the economy, Horror from the Deep, Recruitment Drive, Goblin Diplomacy, Lost Tribe, Wanted, Hizeel Cult, Lunar Diplomacy, and Dream Mentor. Now we start the Sins of the Father. This quest normally poses a bit of a problem for mid-game accounts, Iron and Main alike, but we've got Inquisitor, and a recently acquired Infernal Cape and Avernic Defender, so let's kick some vampire butt. Whoa, cut. Sega Genesis? What is this, the 90s? It's 2023. Let's sound like it, shall we? And with Vanstrom Klaus defeated, that is Sins of the Father finished. This unlocks a Hallowed Sepulchre, which was going to be my training method for that 75k agility experience I mentioned last episode. But now it's just used for 90k agility experience, which gets us 63 agility. From this point on, the new Wilderness boss rework is live, and because of the new weapons, this part of my Slayer grind is the tiniest bit faster. Most of our damage is coming from the cannon anyway, but we like small buffs here and there. We got a Dust Devil task, and now we can afford the Slayer Helm perk. After a few days of Slayer sessions, we finished the 100 task streak, giving us a hefty point stimmy, and it's time to start spending. That's every extension unlocked. Now we can begin traditional Slayer training. Keep in mind, we want 100 combat to access the Crystal Halberd, and I want to get my Slayer to 80 around the same time. Completing the diary means completing its requirements, which includes enough of the elf line to unlock elves as a Slayer task. And if we're going to be including those guys, I want Nex in the pool of tasks as well. A little showcase of the very fun Logout Slayer. Tazar, the best drop on old school RuneScape. I've had my share of rare drops in my life, but nothing compares to when Steve says these magical words, and of course, we picked Zuk. But I should give a disclaimer, I only plan on completing both the Inferno and Fight Caves 5 times each on this account. Unfortunately, Logout Slayer on regular Tazar is much faster in the measurement of in-game time, but I don't have a Crystal Halberd yet, so this task came at a perfect time. Let's take a moment and discuss the Tazar task battle plan. There are 12 combat tasks within the Inferno, and I'd like to complete all of them without having to take the time to do extra runs. We have Nibbler Chaser finished, which required us to not cast a single magical spell, so having that out of the way is great. And I've got a pretty smooth way to divide out the rest of the tasks without it becoming too much of a hassle. I'll simplify these remaining 4 runs into 4 different dynamics. One run must be done using melee, the second must be done in under 65 minutes, the third I can't fall below 50 hit points, and the fourth, which is the one I'll tackle right now, is complete the run without using a twisted bow. There's a few straggler tasks we can pick up along the way that don't change the way you tackle the run, so we'll try our best to fit in the following. The floor is lava, where you can't allow a snake to dig a single time. Playing with Jads, where all 3 Jads must die within 30 seconds of each other. And lastly, Nibbler's Begone, where you can't allow a single pillar to fall. Let's dive in and see how this pans out. Unfortunately on wave 62, our first pillar fell. I didn't want to risk throwing the whole run on chasing, so we'll just grab that task another time. And even without the Twisted Bow, playing with Jads is finished. All that's left is the big boy. And there's a nice bonus of 100,000 Slayer experience alongside 3 tasks. The floor is lava, budget setup, and playing with Jads. And there's 100 combat. With 80 Slayer just upon the horizon and 100 combat barely obtained, the Western Hard Diary still needs skills that require real time to train effectively, Hunter and Farming. But first I need to progress the Elf questline. Underground Pass, Registeel, Roving Elves. This NPC is supposed to lower your stats to 20, but if you one-shot him, he doesn't even get a chance. Morning's End? I know we all love this part, that's why I got it the first try. And first try again. Morning's End Part 2.
Wow.
That's one easy game of pest control, one medium game of pest control, and one hard game of pest control, which required 100 combat to do. In old school RuneScape, you can tell how well the game is doing based on the champions you see in pest control. This man is having more fun than all of us, and I couldn't be happier. Now back to those skill requirements. This is going to take a few days, so it's time to go touch some grass.
66!
We've got 65 farming, now we plant the palm tree with a garden pie boost. It's a few days later, and if you remember in a previous episode, I mentioned needing to still train thieving to a higher level, but I'd do it some other time. Well, it's some other time now. And there's 72 thieving. We can pickpocket a gnome with the summer squirt juice to boost us. And that's the easy diary done, and some agility experience. That's the medium diary done. And that's 300 chompy skilled, not quite finishing the hard diary. We set out to kill Zora one time, and we have brought Chins with us as there is a task to kill 3 snakelings simultaneously. That's the task completed. And that's losing over 40 mil worth of Chins. Completed. And that's the task actually completed. Now our last 2 tasks. Check the health of the palm tree and Letya, and mine some Addy ore. And that's the diary completed for even more agility experience. But most importantly of all, we now have access to the best weapon of all, the Crystal Halberd. Our combat training just got a huge boost, and we've got our sights on 95 Slayer, alongside all the combat levels that come with it. Thank you for taking the time to watch today's installment of the Zuk Helm Any% Speedrun. Now to see us off is today's video sponsor, T Papa Slice.
First of all, I think you should just subscribe to the Cold One YouTube channel because he's a grandmaster. He's a hardcore solo top. He's actually my #1 inspiration in life. You guys know that 58 minute duo you just saw? I was able to get numbers and times like that because I've been currently watching the Cold One Speedrun to Grandmaster series on YouTube.